What's going on, and welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV for another Good Morning Tottenham stream. Some bits and pieces to get through this morning, but I think what we'll start off with is the Pacos de Ferreira preview for tonight in the Europa Conference League, Simeon's favourite competition.
Oh, I love it.
All of our favourite competitions.
What a competition.
Yeah, it's interesting from the Nuno press conference last night that he said all 11 players are going to be left at home that started against Man City. Were you surprised by that?
I was surprised. I was happy about it, to be honest, because I think that's what we should be doing. We should be using this tournament for breeding the youngsters through and that kind of stuff, bringing the youngsters through. And I think that's a good thing. And that's what I think the main use of this competition should be. So I was surprised because I thought he would want to definitely make sure Spurs are making it through to the group stages. But the fact that he's kind of resting all 11 players was definitely a surprise.
I agree. And, you know, when it's a big opportunity for kind of Dane Scarlett, Niall John in the middle. We gave you a predicted lineup yesterday before the press conference, but now the press conference has been made, we've kind of revised that lineup for you. Let's flash it up on screen now, the lineup. Sessegnon left wing back, Doherty right wing back with John and Winks in the middle, Gil on the left, Lo Celso on the right, and Scarlett up top. So, I mean, it's a good opportunity to try out new systems as well tonight, isn't it?
I hope so, yeah, because I think it's important to be versatile, and I think that's the system that suits those players on the pitch. So that's what I see us going for. I'm very, very excited that he confirmed Dane Scarlett is playing. So I'm very excited to see him start. Obviously, he scored in pre-season against Leyton Orient, a nice goal. And it's going to be really good to see him in the flesh, kind of starting for the first time in a competitive game and see how he does. Nuno's talking him up in his pre-match press conference, saying how much we believe in him and how much quality and we want to nurture him and we want to give him game time. And that's really positive.
And without a striker on the bench, you would say he probably played 90 minutes tonight.
Yeah, I mean, is Son not on the bench?
I don't think they're travelled. I think all 11 players have stayed at home.
That's not what he said.
I thought that's what he said.
No, he said some of them are on the bench.
Oh, some of them are on the bench.
Yeah, he said a few of them haven't travelled, but a few of them are on the bench, yeah. So, I know Bergwijn and Dele haven't travelled.
Yeah, and obviously Kane.
Kane and Domblé Aurier haven't travelled. I don't know who else hasn't travelled.
Okay, well,
But a few of them are on the bench, he said.
I thought he said that they're staying at home, but obviously I got the wrong end of the stick there.
No, he didn't say that. He said all 11 aren't going to be involved, and then he was pushed on that answer. So he said Kilpatrick asked him, so they're not in the squad. He said no, some of them will be on the bench. He meant not in the 11 when he said not involved.
Okay, because I haven't seen Son in any of the pictures or anything like that.
Maybe Son is one of the ones, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something he might be.
There was a list somewhere of who has actually been taken, but I'll try and find it. But if this was Jose Mourinho going into this game, do you think he plays such a weak team?
Yeah, I don't think he'd be playing Scarlett up front in this game. I think he would have taken it a bit more seriously, probably, and he would have played the bigger. Maybe he would have started with the bigger guns and taken them off like he did a few times in Europa League. That's what I expected Nuno to do. Maybe the instruction from the club is in this game they're bothered about the Conference League. Maybe that's the instruction. Like, yes, we want you to do well and try and win it, but like we're not going to judge you on the Conference League.
So should be able to win this game with that kind of squad anyway.
Of course. I mean, look,
I've got the squad here now. It looks like the majority of... Actually, is there anyone in this squad that was... No, there's no one in this squad that was starting on the weekend. The squad is Golini, Austin, Doherty, Sesse, Pasozzi, Davis, Sessegnon, Carter-Vickers, Romero, Lyons, Foster, Winks, John White, Lo Celso, Bennett, Clark, Brian Hill and Scarlett. That's the squad for tonight.
Yeah, none of the 11 are there. But he said he was pushed on it and he said no, some of them will be on the bench. So that was very strange. That's very odd.
Sorry, I don't think that's the whole squad because I think we've taken 21 players, but that's the kind of ones that have been notified so far. That's what it says here.
He said this school. Lily White Rose says this is 19 of the 21 that he's seen in training photos.
Okay, is that the same players as I just mentioned?
Yeah. So I don't know. So why would I don't know? Nuno. I read yesterday Nuno said something different, which is strange. I don't know. It's weird.
Either way, doesn't look like there's another striker, is what I'm saying. It doesn't look like there's another striker there. So you would expect Dane to play 90 minutes, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest, Paco de Ferreira, you can say we should be winning. We should be winning with this kind of team. But, they're in the Portuguese league. This isn't the Bulgarian league, This isn't the early rounds of the conference where we're playing Skendia. This is a level above them. You have to give them a bit more respect than that, I think.
More respect than what, sorry?
Then comparing them to maybe the playoffs in the Europa League last year. I think this is they're a better, higher class team.
They're in a better league, but they are finishing they're not exactly, fifth. Of course they're bigger, better level than Skendia. Yeah, you're right. Of course they are, but still, I still think that we should be beating them with our third string side. That's the honest truth.
I don't know. Portuguese league is nothing to be sniffed at. I really believe that. I wonder if we're underestimating them. I do wonder that.
I think the Portuguese league isn't as good as it was, first of all, and I think that. Look, I keep mentioning when we're talking about Pacos, like that Benfica side that came to play Arsenal, they were awful. Yes, they're fine. They got to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Fair enough. Or was it the quarterfinals or the last 16? One of the two. Fair enough. Yeah, good on them. But I still think the quality of football on show that day was shocking, to be honest, from Benfica.
Yeah, but they drew the first game and they
against a very, very poor Arsenal side.
They lost 3-2 in the second.
Yeah.
So it wasn't exactly a washout, blowout.
Yeah, but I was just expecting a lot more from them.
They were terrible at the back. Going forward, they weren't terrible. They weren't. They had the likes of Ferreira and that Rafa Silva, who had a very good Euros as well. He's a good player. Anyway,
what I'm saying, that Benfica side are a lot better than this Pacos de Ferreira side.
Right, but I'm saying if Pacos de Ferreira finishing fifth in the Portuguese league, that doesn't tell me that there's some team who you can put out a youth team out and win. I think that's reserved for teams that we played like we played last year in the early round of the Europa League. That's what I think. That kind of team. I think Pacos de Ferreira. Look, we'll see tonight, but I don't know. If you finish fifth in the Portuguese league, I think that somewhat shows you're somewhat a competent team, in my opinion. When you're facing the likes of Porto, Benfica, Sporting Lisbon, Braga, there's some decent teams in there. No, they're not. Obviously not the best in Europe or anything like that. And obviously, if we ever played them, we should obviously be beating them. But just playing a youth side against them, I would urge caution against that. I would say.
When you say youth side, do you mean complete youth side, or you mean like the side that we've mentioned today?
Look, the side we mentioned today should be okay because I think there's enough experience in there and there's enough quality. But I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. I think it's a bit of risk, in my opinion, from Nuno.
I've done a bit of reading on Pacos, and they're a team that like to play expansive football. They like to play a high line, and then they don't really kind of change their system for anyone. So that should really play into our hands, shouldn't it?
You say that, but if they got a well system, which is, I'd rather play a team who try their best to keep us out and are a defensive team and allow us possession than a team who play a high line and play expansive football and play attacking football, because we're going to be playing a team who are not settled together right now. And if they're going to click going forward, then we could be in trouble. We could be in trouble. It's going to give us more opportunity going forward the other way. But if we're not able to, beat their press and break the lines and find space in behind with a team which is very inexperienced, then I don't know. I honestly think it's a risk from Nuno tonight. I do, playing none of the 11 that played on Sunday. I understand why he's doing it. I don't disagree with it necessarily. I just think it's a risk. I think it's a risk.
Look, it is a risk, but if it does pull off, then
it's a risk. I don't know if he had to do it.
If it does pull off and we win this game convincingly and effectively qualify tonight, with you would say probably what 3-0 qualifies us tonight.
Probably, yeah.
2-0 qualifies us tonight.
Does, yeah.
If we can get a 2 or 3 goal lead tonight, it will give these players so much confidence, won't it?
Of course it would. But then it goes to what I'm saying about the Conference League. Does he really care about it? Do we really care about it? Because if he's playing that kind of team in a playoff, it kind of implies that he's basically putting it on the line tonight with this team, with this selection.
But we all said it coming into the Conference League that we want to see these kind of teams play in the Conference League.
Yeah, I do, because I don't care about it.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying that I wanted to see a mix and match team and then play more of a serious team in the later rounds. That's what I was saying. So I think that it's exactly what we want to start. Well, we haven't even seen the lineup yet, and we're talking like this is gospel, but this is the lineup. It's
not the lineup, but we've seen the squad pretty much, and
it's the only. It's the only lineup it can be, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, playing the likes of Carter Vickers, if we do play him, playing the likes of Niall John, if we're saying Niall John's going to play, Dane Scarlett, giving Brian Hill his debut. In this kind of game, I think it's a risk. Is it a risk worth taking for someone like Nuno if he really wants to qualify? I don't know if he had to take this kind of risk.
Yeah, but also the way you look at it is like, if you don't do well tonight, if you get a draw, if you lose by the odd goal, lose by 2 goals, take it back to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, play a better side without travelling, we should be able to go through either way. I know, obviously it's a risk to go into the second leg losing, but you would still think we can overturn it with a proper team out there. Yeah,
but you have to see how bad the result is tonight, I guess. You don't want to leave yourself too much to do.
Of course.
And I'm not saying that the team we've got is going to do that. I'm just saying it is a bit if you're playing against a very attacking team in a cup tie, if they got in the Conference League by finishing 5th in the Portuguese league, so I don't know how many goals they got last season, but if they're very good, if they're a decent attacking team, then there's a chance that we could kind of get undone tonight badly. I think there is.
I'm not sure about that. I'm still confident with this side. If we do play this side or a similar side to this, I'm confident that we should go out there and win the game. I am.
I'm not confident we're going to batter them tonight.
Maybe not batter them, but win the game.
Well, they only scored 40 goals last season, so it didn't exactly set the world alight. But maybe they... so they're not...
They're not the greatest team, you know what I mean? They finished 5th in the Portuguese league. Who finished above them? Braga, Lisbon.
Benfica, Porto and Lisbon, yeah.
And how far away were they from them?
They were 12 points away.
12 points.
Away. No, sorry. 11 points away from Braga.
And how many points were Braga away from Benfica?
12.
So a lot away. Far.
Benfica, Porto
over 20
and
points away from the top 2.
Yeah, Benfica, Porto and Sporting had a little thing going on at the top.
Yeah. So look, I mean, they're not very close to them top 3, are they?
No, they're not.
We got a super chat here from Brandon Troller saying, knowing what Nuno said, do you think Nuno will throw out a front 3 of Clark, Scarlett and Gill, or would you rather him throw Sessegnon into the attack? We brought you our lineup. Well, let's just bring up that lineup again. We'll leave it on screen for a bit longer for you to have a look at. But this is the lineup, what we think it's going to be tonight, contrary to what our predicted lineup video says, because that was before the press conference. So we think this will be the lineup. Obviously, Galini in goal, back 3 of Romero, Vickers and Davis. Sessegnon, Doherty on the flanks with Winks and John in the middle. Gil, Lo Celso and Scarlett up top. It's also worth noting we left Joe Rodon out because he got an injury in the training session out in Portugal. So that's obviously not good news. We were all looking forward to seeing Joe Rodon tonight. But, you got to put trust. I think in that back 3, you got to put trust in Davis and Romero. It's just Carter Vickers is the question mark there, really, isn't he?
Yeah, of course, because we know we want him out the door. He's linked to a lot of clubs. So... he's obviously going to be the big question mark. I'm confident we'll get a result. I'm just saying...
you're just airing this caution.
Yeah, I just thought, in this kind of fixture, unless he's really confident, like in these players, right, like in going into this game, it's kind of... I just think leaving all 11 players out of the lineup, that players that you trust, leaving all... even if it's just 1 or 2, but leaving all of them is a bit of a risk. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. It is a bit of a risk, but I still think we should have enough We should have enough. If all of these players are on side, if we show the same passion and desire as we did on Sunday, we win this
what I
game.
hope, yeah.
We win this game.
Yeah, that's what I hope. But the thing is, this team hasn't played together as much as the team on Sunday had. Because
Correct.
they've been playing all the pre-season
Yeah.
together. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But
What's your prediction with the revised all team news and lineups and all that?
I reckon like maybe 2-1 to Spurs.
2-1. I said 4-1 originally. I think I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0 Spurs, and I think that should be enough to see us qualify, to be honest.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, well, that is our kind of preview for the Conference League. Just to let you know, the link is in the community section if you do want to come on and have a chat with us about the Conference League, about any other news stories that we'll bring to you, or if you just want to have a random chat about Tottenham, that's also okay. So link is in the community section for members. Click the link and come on and join us for a chat. Let's move on to the daily Harry Kane chat. As Harry Kane is now at loggerheads with Daniel Levy. I say now, he probably has been for a while. The Mail on Sport reporting about an hour ago saying Daniel Levy's refusal to engage with Man City has left Harry Kane fearing for his dream move. The Times are saying Harry Kane has found himself isolated and caught in limbo, with Man City needing to sell in order to continue their pursuit of the Tottenham striker. Sam Wallace of The Telegraph saying that Daniel Levy standing firm over Harry Kane. Spurs chairman does not feel 125 million bid is enough to trigger the sale of Harry Kane. So with all of that news, I mean, it's all kind of pointing in the direction of him staying, isn't it?
Well, the interesting thing as well is Daniel Levy said, apparently he said, coming out of Daniel Levy's camp, that he believes the gentleman's agreement is that Kane can leave only to a foreign club for the kind of money that City are offering. He can leave to a foreign club, or if a crazy bid comes in from a Premier League team, he would consider it. And he doesn't believe that Man City's bid is a crazy bid, which I completely agree with. For someone like Harry Kane, 125 million is not a crazy bid. I think that's a below par bid, especially how they're doing it with add-ons and whatnot. So I think he's 100% right, Daniel Levy, and apparently, Man City are fearing for the move. They need to sell someone. Apparently, sources high up in Man City have said that they are worried that if no one is able to go out the door at Man City, then they're not going to be able to sign Harry Kane. They wouldn't be able to stump up the money required to sign Harry Kane. So I think that would be interesting. I wonder who they're going to look to get out the door, what's going to happen from that perspective. But it looks like at the moment, and also, you know, we'll get into it in a second, but with our targets drying up, the time running out in the window, I mean, is this actually going to happen? I remember last window when everyone was going on about Sancho, and you remember Dortmund did a deadline.
A deadline, yeah.
They did a deadline, and then they passed the deadline, right? But even when they passed the deadline, they said, look, you passed the deadline, whatever happens now, we're not selling him. But I remember, even up until transfer deadline day, everyone was still going mad about Sancho. Oh, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Oh, personal terms agreed. Every day Romano was updating, personal terms agreed. They're still negotiating all this stuff. Even though Dortmund kept saying, you passed the deadline, like, we're not selling. Everyone was still, the rumour mill was still going on and on and on about this deal. Yeah. I remember on Sky Sports, there were people coming on saying, oh, it's still going to happen, it's 90% done, it's definitely going to happen, and, I wouldn't worry about it, oh, the deadline's fake and all that stuff. And what happened? It didn't happen. Dortmund actually kept to their word, and it didn't happen. I feel like the same might be happening with this deal.
Could be, but Dortmund, the Dortmund owner or president, came out and was very vocal about this, very vocal and open about this deadline. Obviously, Daniel Levy is not the same, so I think that you're probably right. I think that there has to be a deadline, but you've got to say that it's just schoolboy PR and schoolboy kind of negotiating with Daniel Levy. If this did you listen to Simon Jordan yesterday on Talk Sport,
chastising Charlie Kane?
Like, absolutely spot on though. Like, if you're going to have a gentleman's agreement, like, what sort of gentleman's agreement is will allow you to leave at the end of the window? Well, like if that's the only bit of the gentleman's agreement, it's absolutely ridiculous in terms of Charlie Kane and Harry Kane's camp, isn't it?
Yeah, there's nothing to that, is it?
There's nothing to that. Like, yeah, okay, fine, we'll let you leave, but what's the conditions of that?
Can't just leave for anything.
Exactly. You know what? What, we're going to let you leave for 5p?
Man City don't set the price.
Exactly.
We set the price.
Exactly.
They have to match our price, and that's reality. And I think Kane is learning that now. And I think they thought maybe they had more leverage than they did in this situation. And we're not going to be bullied by Man City. We're not. It's not going to happen. They're going to either match our price, or they're going to have to jog on, because I think we know how important Kane is to us. And for all his kicking up a fuss and everything, he will nail down. He will knuckle down. He will. He's going to have to. So the what do you call the ball is with the power's in our hands at the moment. We had the power in this instance. It's on Man City to stump up the money. So I don't get what the either pay it or not. It was 19th of August. You got 12 days. You should have paid it long ago. At this rate, I don't even want to sell him for 150. It's getting to that stage, because
I think it's got to that stage for me already. To be honest, I think that it's got too late in the window. All our kind of targets in that position are drying up now. For me, it looks as though the guy's going to stay for another year.
Yeah, I mean, I think the rumours will rumble on, but I think he's going to stay. And
even like if he stays for this year, it's even possible that he'll stay even further than that.
He will, but it is because depending, he might be happy to stay. His mind might change, or next year, no one might come in for him.
If Man City sign a Vlahovic now this summer, if they if that deal ends up getting over the line and Vlahovic smashes it out this year in the Premier League,
there's no need for Kane.
There'll be no need for Harry Kane.
Which I understand, which is the reason why I think Kane is pushing so hard this summer.
Yeah,
because I think he knows this might be the opportunity this summer to get it done.
There's always other opportunities for different clubs. Maybe Manchester United can come in next summer, something like that. Haaland is up next year for his release clause. Lewandowski wants a new challenge. So, it looks as though both of them could be on the move in the next year. There's going to be a merry-go-round of strikers now. And, Chelsea don't need a striker. Man City might get Vlahovic.
I love, can I just say about the Lewandowski thing, like, he's 33 right now, right? And everyone says, he wants a new challenge, and Bayern Munich are demanding over 100 million for him. And no one's saying, that's too much for Lewandowski, he's 33. Everyone's like, that's probably about right. And yet he's 5 years older than Kane. And yet everyone's saying, Kane's 28. How can you should accept lower. I think you look at all the best players at the moment, Messi, Ronaldo, Lewandowski, right? They're all in their mid-30s and they're still at the top of their game. Yet Kane, because he's 28, has only got 2 more years left at the top.
But the difference is that Lewandowski is at Bayern Munich. He's had his career at the top, and anywhere he goes from Bayern Munich is not exactly an upgrade, is it? Harry Kane hasn't been at the top yet, and they're talking about Harry Kane getting his big move. Lewandowski's already had his big move.
No, I'm talking about players being at the top level in terms of their ages.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So what's your point?
What I'm saying is, why they're saying that about Harry Kane is because Harry Kane hasn't had his big move yet.
Yeah.
And Lewandowski has. Lewandowski has been at the top for however many years he's been at the top. What do you mean, so what?
I'm saying Kane has a longevity, is my point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is Kane has a longevity. Lewandowski has a longevity, but where Lewandowski goes now, it doesn't really matter because he's been at the top. He's won loads of trophies. Kane has never won a trophy yet. So what they're saying is that if Kane goes now, he's more likely to win the trophies now as if he goes when Lewandowski. If he leaves Tottenham when he's Lewandowski's age, he's got even less of a time to win those trophies and stuff. Now he's going into like his pomp of his career. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but okay, I understand what you're saying. But I think that he's still got so many years left that he could leave in a couple of years when he's 30 and still have a good 5 years.
I agree with you, but that's the way the media are looking at it, is that when you go into the prime of your career, it's usually around 28, 29, right? Harry Kane.
I think that's old school way. I think it used to be like that. I don't think it's like that anymore. I think players are now in their early 30s and still right at the top of their game. You know, look at Ian Robben. You know, you think a fast winger, right, who relies so much on pace and stuff. How can he be still at the top of his game at 34, 35? Yeah, he was. He was right at the top of his game.
I'm not saying you can't be at the top of your game at that age. I'm just saying, like, naturally, people are usually at their prime between 28, 29, 30, around that period of their career. That's what it is usually.
I think it used to be like that. I don't think it's necessarily the same anymore.
I think that you see players
look
lasting
at Vardy,
longer.
34.
I know that. You're seeing players last longer now. Of course you are.
That's my point.
Yeah, I agree with you. You are seeing players last longer now, but when you reach the 28, 29, people start to ask questions, especially if you haven't won anything in your career.
Okay, but I think Kane is the last player people should be asking questions on in terms of how he keeps himself fit and how professional he is in that kind of aspect of looking after himself. I've got no doubt. I think anyone with half a brain would have no doubt that he's going to be a player who's going to go into his mid-20s.
Yeah,
and it'll be silly for anyone to think otherwise, in my opinion. Because look how good he is physically, and how well he looks after himself. He's going to make sure that he can last for a long time.
I agree. I completely agree.
And if Lewandowski's worth 100 million at 33,
do you really think that he will go for 100 million next summer? I can't see that.
I never said he would. I'm just saying if he is worth 100 million.
Yeah, but is he though?
That's what the club are demanding.
Yeah, but do you think they'll actually get that? And do you think when they actually do the deal, it will be 100 million? Because I can't see that.
Look, the fact is, if you want Lewandowski this summer, it's 100 million. Okay. So he's worth 100 million.
Yeah.
So if Lewandowski's worth 100 million at 33, or I think he's going to be 34 even on Saturday, then Kane is worth more than 150.
Yeah.
At 28.
Yeah, he is. He is. And I think that when you look at Lewandowski, he's not going anywhere this summer, let's be honest.
He's not going anywhere.
Summer.
He's not. It's all talk.
Next summer, there's a potential of him to go because I think it's kind of like handing over the baton to Erling Haaland.
He's got 1 year left as well.
Kind of thing. Next summer, he'll have 1 year left. I can't see him going for more than 50 million next summer with 1 year left in his deal.
At 35.
Yeah.
Wow. See, there you go. 50 million at 35.
That's the max, I think. I think he'll go for less, but I think that's the max. And I think that's a natural kind of progression to Erling Haaland. I do believe Erling will go there next summer. And the funny thing is that Erling going to Bayern Munich, he can stay there for 5-6 years and still have a mad career in the Premier League after that.
Who, Haaland? Yeah, for sure. How old was Ronaldo when he went to Juventus for 100 million? I know it's Ronaldo.
He was 33, I think.
I think even older.
Do you think older?
How old is he now?
He's 36 now, isn't he? He's been there 3 years, right?
Is he 30? Cristiano Ronaldo. How old is he now? He's 36 now. Yeah, he's been there 3 years. This is his 4th year. So yeah, he was 33 when he moved, and he moved for 100 million. So, but I'm just saying, I don't like when people talk about Kane's age and they bring up in terms of the price. I think it should be irrelevant. Is my opinion. That's my point basically. Yeah. 28. Like people say, oh, his price should be lower because he's 28 and he's nearing 30. I think that's absolute bullshit, basically.
Also, what comes into the argument is injuries as well. Yeah, I know he had an injury-free season by and large last season, but every other season in his career, he's always had that one big injury, hasn't he?
Look,
for the past 3-4 years, either way. But like,
what player doesn't get injuries ever?
Ronaldo, Messi.
I remember, got an injury, missed 3 months. That was like a couple of years ago. Happens sometimes.
I don't remember. Oh, yeah. That's like one injury in his career, you know what I mean? Lewandowski hardly ever gets injured. Ronaldo, like I said, never gets injured. These players don't get injured.
Lewandowski got injured and he missed the Champions League game against Chelsea, I remember, when Chelsea beat them.
When was that?
Last season, or a couple of seasons ago. It happens. Like, I don't know. Like, I know Kane's got injured, but he usually plays at least 30 games in the Premier League.
Not seeing chocolate ankles.
He has had a few injuries, but he's still, I think, first of all, last season he's pretty much stayed injury-free the whole season, and he still plays at least 30 Premier League games usually. 30 games. So, yeah. He might miss 8 games in a season, but...
He always recovers a lot quicker than he should do as well, shouldn't he, Harry Kane?
What I'm saying is, if you look at Harry Kane, the average amount of games he plays, it won't be much lower than other players we're talking about. Maybe 1 or 2 games. It won't be. Yes, you might get an injury here or there with his ankle, but he won't miss that much.
Yeah,
so
I take your
know.
point, and I think you're right there.
So I think anyone trying to drive the price down for Kane shouldn't be taken seriously, in my opinion.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you.
So we're interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah, definitely, and we will be seeing over the next 2 weeks. I think we know kind of how it's going to play out. I really don't think he can leave at this stage, especially with our striker targets being nowhere coming through the door. So
and talking of them.
Yeah, exactly. And talking of them, let's move over to Vlahovic, as apparently Tottenham's pursuit of Dusan Vlahovic is now over and it has been abandoned, and now Man City are linked with him. So is this a changing of the guards for Man City?
Potentially. I mean, well, the Fiorentina chairman yesterday said that he would only Vlahovic is not for sale, and he would only consider a 100 million euro bid for him, which is a far cry from all the rumours of, them accepting 60 million or 70 million or even 50 million bids earlier in the window. Seems that's not going to be the case anymore, or if he's to be believed anyway, the chairman, that isn't to be the case. And apparently, according to the Fiorentina publication, I can't remember their name, something Viola.
Fiorenzi Viola, I think it was.
Fiorenzi Viola. They're saying Spurs have now abandoned their pursuit of Dusan Vlahovic, and that and they're usually quite reliable when it comes from kind of sources close to the club like that.
It's like their version of Football London, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not saying it's like they're definitely right, but I'm just saying it's usually when those things come out like that, it can be accurate. So if that's true, then it looks like he's proven to be too much money.
How mad is it though that Bayern slap 100 million on Lewandowski and Fiorentina slap 100 million on Vlahovic, and they're completely at the opposite spectrums of their career?
I know, but yeah, I guess it's weird, isn't it? But it's how you value players. But I guess Lewandowski's quality is so much, I guess, perceived to be so much better than Vlahovic. Even that he's 12 years older than him, he's still seen as a player that's worth the same amount, even though you're not going to get as many years out of Lewandowski than you are out of Vlahovic. But
for the first time last night, I bowed into watching Vlahovic compilation on YouTube.
For the first time?
I literally stay away from it the whole time. And I watched him last night. He is class. He is so good.
Yeah.
He's fast, he's strong, he's big. I mean, he's got everything to succeed in the Premier League, hasn't he?
Of course he does, but that's why he's so expensive. And we'll see again, just like it looks like they're going to offer him a contract, just like they're going to look to get Milenkovic a contract. Again, it looks like this deal is dead in the water. And what I'm guessing as well is why it's come out now that the deal is dead is probably because it looks like it's more likely we're going to keep Kane, I'm guessing. So maybe the fact we're going to keep Kane means we're not going to splash that big money on him. And that doesn't surprise me. I've said it all along when I saw these big figures for the Vlahovic, and even though Spurs kept being adamant that it was going to be with Kane, it was so obvious it wasn't.
Of course.
It was so obvious that it's not going to be with Kane. We're not
just
spending...
like Lamella was brought in to play with Bale.
Exactly. Look, when there's no chance of spending even 50 million on a striker to play with Kane. It's obviously to replace Kane. That's cleared for everyone. So looks like this one at the moment is dead. I think it could be revived if Kane does happen to leave before the end of the window. I do think it can be revived, but I think at the moment it's looking more and more likely that Kane is going to stay. So I don't see this one happening.
Me as well. I kind of agree with you. Is there anyone waiting in the back? Let's start bringing on.
Also, they're apparently
just before we bring you on, Alex, you got to we're giving you a chance to tidy your room before we bring you on.
Jonathan, where is it? Jonathan Vild. If you go on his Twitter, if you want to watch the game tonight, apparently he tweeted out some promo code for.
Oh yeah, I've just seen that this second.
For £5.
Promo code is just called Spurs. It's just
so
Spurs.
if you want to get Premier Sports
Capitals
tonight, you can get £5 off with the promo code. You can cancel it at any time, apparently.
But can someone let me know in the comment section below? Because I'm a bit confused about this Premier Sport. Is it on TV? Is it just online? Because I can't see it on any schedule or anything on the TV. So is it just the stream?
Yeah, on Sky it's not there. So I don't know what's going on there. No, Premier Sport. If you go on the schedule on Premier Sport, it's the La Liga show at 7:30, not Spurs.
Hayden Dulaki says, "Does Sim just wake up and choose violence?"
Always.
Sim is ready. Sim's like Lamella. Sim's like Lamella. Every time he comes into the studio, he's ready for war.
Look, when I see bids like that from Man City, I have to choose violence. I've got no choice. I have to go on the offensive.
I have to worry about my ankles every time I come into the studio.
Exactly.
But let's bring on Alex Samuels. Alex, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, not so bad, guys. Not so bad.
Yeah, sorry for commenting about your room. It actually looks pretty clean, to be fair, today.
Yeah, not bad. Very impressed.
Thank you. Thank you. No, just when you said about the Vlahovic highlights, I've stayed away from it as well. Just quickly, I had a little look, just because on YouTube. And yeah, he does look not bad, but
not bad.
And now the
that's
deal's
a bit
dead.
of an understatement.
And now the deal's dead. It was your fault for looking.
Yeah.
If you would have stayed away, the deal would still be alive.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've always had concerns about him, purely because, you know, one season, is it really enough for that kind of price tag? I think looking around the 50 million mark probably be more of a fair price than around the mark that obviously Fiorentina are going to put on him. Because I think, like, and it's what you were saying about Lewandowski as well. You know, Bayern putting the 100 million price tag on him. This is the thing that I think a lot of people don't really get about price tags. Or you see on Twitter and everything, people saying, "Oh, that player's not worth. Declan Rice isn't worth 100 million." It literally does not matter what anyone else puts on as the price tag for a player. It's what the club values the player, because he could be, you know, he could not be relatively that good, but if he's important for that club, if he is like their talisman, like Declan Rice is or Lewandowski is for Bayern Munich, they can value him at £1 billion for all it doesn't matter. What will matter is if the player just tries to drive the price down, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really matters when valuing players. Hence why Harry Kane, I think we're actually being very lenient valuing him at only 160 million, in my opinion, because I think for us he's worth actually more than that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I actually think his value probably goes up the later it gets in the window, to be honest, because, you know, it gives us less chance to and it gives us less chance to get our targets in. And, you know, Vlahovic looks off the cards now, Martinez looks off the cards now. So I mean, who are we going to be able to get in anyway if Kane leaves this summer?
No, and this is the thing. This is why, you know, Man City are coming along saying, "Oh, you know, we'll pay peanuts for your one of the best in the world strikers, who's the talisman, England captain, talisman of your club, most goals and assists last season. Yeah, we'll give 100 million plus 25 million add-ons." It's like,
that's insulting.
And there's a massive shortage of strikers as it is. So even, and you know, Hazard went to Madrid with 1 year left in his contract. What was it? 110 million, I think it was, something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, as you know, we've been criticising Daniel Levy all year, to be honest. But on this, I mean, to be honest, there is no one I'd rather have in charge for these sorts of negotiations, to be honest. I don't know about you guys, but I do.
Yeah, because you know he will be as stubborn as possible, won't he? He is going to be absolutely hard line.
Exactly. He'll take them to the cleaners. Harry Kane's played his cards, and nothing's come of it. And by the way, good morning to everyone apart from Charlie Kane, who is now recently unemployed. So that's good news.
Wait, so Alex, do you think yesterday Kane posting on social media him training, is that maybe, do you reckon, him starting to maybe come back, getting back into the swing of things?
He hired Toby Alderweireld's PR machine. That's what he's done.
Well, he came back into it, didn't he, Toby?
Yeah, Toby Alderweireld. Do you not remember where as soon as he was out of the team, suddenly he started posting all these Spurs pictures?
I remember. Yeah. What do you think? You think that's the thinking behind that?
I think it's the new PR guys just getting him back on track, really, and just seeing, maybe testing the waters. I mean, it was a very non-post, was it? It was just him training in Spurs gear.
I know, but I'm saying, is it testing the waters with a view to him staying, do you think?
I'd like to remember, somehow in my head, when big transfers have happened, I think in the previous days players have put out photos of them training in their current club's gear anyway. Just I seem to remember that does happen also. So I think it was just more, you know, I don't think they wanted to leave his last post, especially after the City game, and him not even bothering to put up a post, you know, saying "well done, lads." I don't think they wanted it to be that statement. necessarily being the last thing on his, because this is what football is nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah.
These guys are, they need to maintain good PR. I went on the CK66's website, and that's Charlie Kane's agency.
Does it have only pics of Harry Kane on there?
It
Is there
actually
anything
only
else
does.
on there?
It literally is only pics of Harry Kane. No, but one thing it does say is, they manage end-to-end like PR. That's one of their prime focuses, managing the reputation of their clients. And obviously for Harry Kane, that's completely not. It hasn't gone well whatsoever.
It's funny that they put plural in there instead of singular.
yeah. I don't think they actually do have any other clients. I haven't heard anything.
No, surely not. And after seeing the shit show this summer, I'm sure he won't be getting any more clients anytime soon.
No, I don't think so. I think that would be a very awkward dinner conversation around the Kane household at the moment. But look, who knows, to be honest, what's really going on behind the scenes. I mean, we only hear, maybe 10% of what's really happening. I'm sure there's a lot of movement in terms of back and forth and everything happening. Or Daniel Levy switched his phone off, which is entirely possible. Which you guys
He'll just probably block Sheikh Mansour's number. That's what he'll probably do, just literally. But Alex, in terms of the game tonight, it looks as though 11 players that started against Man City are more or less staying at home or going to be on the bench, one of the two. Do you think that's a big risk tonight, or is it just something you're just not bothered about?
As you guys said, they were 5th in the Portuguese league. That's nothing to like stuff like this. Isn't some which is quite ironic actually, that we're in the playoff stage for the Conference League and are actually probably getting a better team than we played in the Europa League, and even maybe the group stage, which is quite ironic actually. But yeah, I do think that it is notable, and that we shouldn't maybe just assume this is going to be a complete 7-0 or whatever, some sort of ridiculous scoreline. And the team we're supposedly likely to put out, it is good enough to get the job done. However, I think that the point you made about how this is a team that hasn't played together before, really, like in any capacity actually. So I think that's quite significant, and how they're going to be much more have much more cohesion and much more synchronization throughout their squad. So that would be significant. But obviously, we know what kind of team we are. We know we have. We're going to start Brian Kill, he was really a top talent, isn't he? Dane Scarlett, who he knows great, put ball back in the net. And we're probably going to start. Well, I don't know if we'll start Romero personally. I'm not too sure about that.
I mean, there's no other options really, is there?
Well, unless we don't play the 3 at the back.
So what? Davis and Carter Vickers in the centre back. I mean, Rodon's injured. Dyer and Sanchez, I don't think have travelled. So I mean, there's lack of options there.
Pretty bare bones, isn't it, to be honest? But look, I think if it does go bad tonight, we'll get all the stick on Twitter, but we know we can do it at the lane. So I'm not too concerned, but I do see the point that was made about potential banana skin, as all these games are already. That's how it really is, and that's why these type of competitions are a bit annoying, because we know that one loss and we've got the whole of footballing world laughing at us.
Do you?
We nearly went out to Plovdiv.
I know. Oh my god, remember that? Oh my word. Is this how you want this competition to be used, Alex? Kind of bleeding in the players like Dane Scarlett and giving them a lot more game time. Is this how you want to see this competition used?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's exactly that, to be honest. Maybe the higher up you go, you are likely going to get probably some better teams. I mean, Rome is obviously the one that we're thinking about, because you can see it written in the stars now, can't you? The result of that game if we play them. So those sorts of games where you play much better teams, then you're gonna have to play your best starting 11, to be honest. But in terms of at the moment, I think let's say we go all the way and we win this trophy. Is anyone actually going to take it seriously? That's the thing, because I'm
going to be the first guy on the high road.
We're going to have the open top bus parade and Europa Conference League trophy, and that's the thing. So I'm thinking, you might as well really play the youngsters for as much this competition as possible, because if we go out on a banana skin, it'll be a bit tough on Twitter for a week, but then you take it, don't you?
They could have picked a
really.
better name for this competition. Like conference just makes it sound just like the competition that it is. At least put some gloss on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Europa Champions League. Come on, why not?
Yeah, I was talking to my friend the other day who doesn't know a lot about football, but knows the general competition layout, and she was like, also what do you get for winning this European competition? I was like, a spot in the Europa League group stage, which we really also do not really want. So it's not exactly the most glorious of competitions, but it's
Definitely
kind of what
not.
we deserve following last season, to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah,
So you
it
can't
is.
really complain. At least we don't have any European, or at least we do have some European football.
But when
unlike
you're
other-
coming into this tournament, are you bothered if we go out or not, or do you actually is it a tournament that you would like to go and win?
I wouldn't want to go out in the playoff stage. I think it sends a really bad message. Of course, who are we to be picky about trophies? You know, we're certainly not able to do that. So, of course, you want to win it. But I also do think it is a good place to play some of the youngsters. I think Dane Scarlett, this is a great, I suppose, call it training ground for him to get him ready for first team football, which is quite. He needs a big loan first before he's ready for that, in my opinion. A championship or probably a championship club in a couple of years' time. So I think it's a great opportunity for that. But I personally, if we don't win it, it's not the end. It's not the end of the world in the latter stages. I wouldn't be too bothered. You'll get a bit of stick, won't you? And that's
If we're in this season, the latter stage of the season, like say March, April, and say we're like 6 points off top 4, and we've got Europa League conference knockout games coming up, what do you prioritise? Do you try and keep pace with top 4, or do you think go for the Conference League?
I think it's a no-brainer that you go for the top 4, because look at I know it's a trophy, but even if we win it, I'll say it's the Mickey Mouse Cup. It's the equivalent of winning the championship. People will say,
But I would say the same about the FA Cup as well. Like I'll still prioritise going for top 4 over the FA Cup.
Yeah. I think the FA Cup is a bit different in terms of status of in England, but and how we want to show that we can win trophies. I do think it's a bit different. But
it is a bit different. But at the end of the day, you get the same thing at the end of it.
Yeah. I suppose. But
it's just a bit more prestige about it. You're facing better teams, aren't you? So it's a bit more impressive to win.
Yeah,
exactly. But I do, you see what the result of getting top 4 is. It's a Champions League spot, which obviously we want to get back into. So I do think it's actually a no-brainer. You prioritise top 4 over it. And if we're that close, we should be going all the way. We really should be. We should be trying all out to get that.
I agree. Finally, just before we let you go, what is your score prediction tonight?
Score prediction. It's hard because I haven't seen them play before, and only hearing anecdotally about what kind of team they are. It's hard to say whether they're going to score or not. So I think we'll score three goals, but I think whether they get one back or not, I'm not too sure. So 3-1 or 3-0. I'm probably.
It's away. Am I right in saying away goals are banished now? There's no more away goals.
Oh, you might be right.
Oh yeah,
actually.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think from this season on, away goals are not a thing
I
anymore.
don't like that. I like the away goals rule. I thought it added something, but
I agree.
Hey,
I
we
actually
certainly
quite like
benefited
it.
from it.
Definitely.
As Tottenham.
Yeah.
But so that is a bit of a shame. But regardless, we should have enough for this time.
Yeah,
Over 2
agree.
legs especially.
Alex, absolute pleasure as always, my friend,
Yeah, thank
and
you,
we
guys.
shall
Thank
hopefully see you on the fan show tonight.
Yep, I'll come on after.
Nice
Brilliant,
one.
awesome. Come on, you
Looking forward,
Spurs.
mate.
Come on, Tottenham.
Come on.
And that was Alex. Let's just get through some super chats. Vasil Gwenov says, given that Kane stays, shall we not consider him as a new signing?
No.
I don't see how we would consider him as a new signing because he played the whole of last season.
And they've had for 8 years now. I don't think so.
That would be classic Daniel Levy,
Yeah,
though.
a brand new signing. Probably announcing Harry Kane on deadline day.
Will Scott says, It's on BT Sport 2. What do you think about Ndombele wanting to quit from the Football Insider? I mean,
Well, it's from the Football Insider.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't trust the Football Insider.
But on BT Sport, I checked BT Sport 2 as well, and it doesn't seem to be on there either. It's on Premier. Look, Premier Sport's Twitter account says it's on there. It's on Premier Sport, so I have to believe that. I'm pretty sure it is on Premier Sport, but I don't understand.
Yeah, but Jonathan Veal literally tweeted out a code to watch it on Premier Sport.
It is on Premier Sport. I don't know why people are saying it's on BT Sport. But I did see it before that someone said it was on BT Sport, but it's not.
Sorry guys, but we are back, and we're back with a super chat from Tinman007, who says, "We must not be blinded by the win versus City. I'm worried Levy will sell Kane and pocket the money and fooling us and leaving us short again."
We have to be wary of that. Can't let that happen. That would be disastrous if that was to happen. That's true. I agree with that. We can't allow that to happen. Which is why I'm so adamant that we can't sell Kane unless we have time to spend the money. And it's probably got to the stage already where it's not worth selling him at this point. So I don't know. I'm worried that if we haven't got our targets and we sell him on deadline day, and he'll put a narrative out saying, "Oh, we've got Son up front now, and we've improved with Romero, and that's it." But I don't know. I agree. If he sells too late in the window and we don't really get any targets, then I'm worried about that. I'm worried about that possibility.
Funniest thing, I was looking at the Arsenal transfer news. They signed Ramsdale, right?
Yeah.
And they signed Odegaard as well.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what they've done is they've spent about 140 million, and they've pretty much got the same squad as they had last year.
Yeah, it's pretty mad. It's weird, isn't it?
It's so
they spent so
strange.
much money and they haven't improved their team, really.
I don't get it at all.
Someone showed a picture of the starting 11 for Arsenal, and then 150 million pounds later, and it's the same picture. I don't really get their except for Ben White.
They've swapped Ben White for David Luiz,
Mm-hmm.
who is arguably a downgrade anyway.
Arguably,
now.
yeah.
Obviously Ben White's got the scope to improve in the future, but as it stands right now, there's no saying that Ben White's a much better player than David Luiz.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, they're the same.
They got that Lokonga guy, but he's obviously not going to get in ahead of Partey, is he? Or he shouldn't really.
To be honest, I thought Lokonga was all right in the first half against us in the friendly, but that's just the friendly.
Yeah, I just feel like Arsenal's, especially if you look at their back line, their four centre-backs are now White, Mari, Holding, and Gabriel.
It's awful.
Terrible.
Gabriel looked lost when he wasn't playing with David Luiz.
There are no
year.
leaders or anything at the back there. No, there's nothing. So I don't know where they're heading this season, Arsenal.
They're gonna be what's it called? 3 games now. They're gonna be 0 wins. They got Chelsea and Man City next.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this meme last night. I don't know if you saw it, but Ramsdale, his career path. Have you seen that meme?
What, relegation?
Yeah, have you seen
it?
it?
He gets relegated everywhere he goes.
Everywhere he goes. So let me just try find it because it was bloody funny. This is it. So he joined Chesterfield in 2017. They got relegated that season. Then he joined Bournemouth in 2019. They got relegated that season. Then he joined Sheffield United in 2020. They got relegated this season. He joins Arsenal in 2021. What's going to happen to them?
They're going to get relegated. I think lump all your money on now. It's pretty much confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, the odds aren't even that big, to be honest.
Depressingly small.
Johan Kaiser person with the super chat saying, "We need trophies. Of course, we should try getting to win the Conference League. Getting a winner's mentality will be perfect building block to the Paratici rebuild."
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe when we won the League Cup, it didn't exactly spur on Ramos, did it? When we won, didn't give us a winning mentality. We won the League Cup under Ramos.
No, but I think the club is a different club than it was then.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. The thing is with Nuno, I don't like competitions really like where Nuno's not going to be judged on the Conference League.
No, but he's not going to be judged on like the League Cup as well. We wouldn't like turn that away.
He's not going to be judged on the... Yeah, well, we do, because you play youngsters in the early rounds, don't you?
In the early rounds, yeah.
Yeah.
But when it gets close to like, when it gets past like the first 2 rounds, we play a serious team. And we got to the cup final last year and we were all praying we would win it.
Of course.
But like if we would have won it, it's not like the manager
If we get to
would
the
have been
Europa
judged
League,
on
if we get to the conference final, obviously I'm going to want us to win.
Yeah.
It's not saying I don't want us to win it. I'm just not...
But what I'm saying is that the Conference League is the European League Cup. That's what it is.
Yeah, and just like the League Cup as well, we're not that bothered if we get out of it.
No, we're not. But we still prefer to win it than not win it.
That's with any competition, though.
Yeah, and that's all I'm saying. That's all I say with the Conference League.
Obvious.
It's not like I'm saying I'm dying to win it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I would like to win it, like I would just like to win the League Cup. It's just simple.
Okay, but that's okay. Fine.
Anyone else waiting? No, I think that might be it for today then, unless you got anything else.
No, nothing else. Nothing
All
else
right.
at the moment.
So we'll be back tonight with all the match day content, the pre-match pump up with David Harris, followed by the watch along with myself and Sim, and then the post-match fan show as well will be coming your way tonight. So a lot of content coming your way. Cannot wait for the game tonight. It's a massive game in the Conference League against Pacos de Ferreira in the first leg out in Portugal. Let me know all your comments around all the news we brought to you today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.